Well, hello there, everyone. How y'all doing today? Let me lean down and get something. Yeah, it's Tuesday, October the 17th, year 2023. Well, first of all, how's this lighting sound look, and how's this sound right now? Trying out a new studio. Yeah, it's actually my casita. Casita. Do you know what a casa is? Casa means house in Spanish. Casita is a little house. This is a little tiny house. It's like a guest house, but it's tiny. It's a one bedroom. I got one bed here right to my right. I'll show it to you in a second here. I got a cup of green tea, that's what I reached down to get. Before I show it to you, I'm going to talk a little bit about, excuse me for showing on the top of my head. I want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of starting to invest today or continue to invest if you've already started. Okay, so with that being said, I am Mazske Finance. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor and nutritionist. The reason I throw that last part in is because I sometimes talk about different various aspects of health. Okay, now with that being said, I'm going to show you real quick my casita. All right, I'm just going to pick this up. See, there's a bed right there. I got some stuff on it. It kind of looks like it might be a queen size bed. All right, we got a mirror right there. I want to walk around a little bit here to show you something. There's like the doors. There's a glare there. Can you see it right there? That's our swimming pool right out there. That's my house on the other side that I'm staying in. Currently, we got a little window right here with bushes outside. And here, let me get in here, is a little bathroom. All right, you got a shower there. Where are we at? You got a little toilet down there. You got a sink back there. So it's a little casita. What I've debated, if I end up staying here long term, because I just do not know. This house is for sale. I am renting it and it's for sale. Let me just check something out there. All right. And in my lease, it says there's a maximum of 2 showings a month. And the real estate agent told me we do not have to leave when there's a showing. It's different than the US. And I said, kind of like, really? Why not? And she responded to me, your belongings are here. Why are you going to leave when your belongings are here? You got to keep an eye on it, make sure no one walks away with anything. It's like, well, yeah, I agree. But in the United States, you're supposed to leave the premises when you show a house, right? So anyway, with that being said, if someone does decide to buy it, I've been told we get at least 60 days to vacate. All right. When someone buys a house in the country of Panama, it takes, if they're a cash buyer, it may take 2 months. If they're a mortgage buyer, it may take 3 months. Mortgages in Panama are different than the United States. I think the United States, I believe, is the only country in the world that has 30-year fixed rate mortgages, I think. So if you're an American living in the United States, feel blessed because the rest of the world is different. Okay? So that being said, the importance of starting to invest today, why would I say that? Why would I say that? Because every day, going back to when I was a teenager in 1983, I wish I had known then to start investing. I didn't know. 1987, when I joined the Navy at age 19. I wish I had known then about investing. I started off back then saving like $100 a month out of my paycheck initially when I was in electronics school because I was a single guy living in the barracks and my meals provided to me. You know, $100 a month it might have been $50, $50 or $100. It was a lot of money, but it wasn't a lot of money. I didn't miss it, okay, because all my bills were paid. All right. Back when I had a roommate to talk to me about mutual funds in the country of Panama in 1988 or 1989, if instead of talking to me about mutual funds, what if he had talked to me about buying real estate? When I bought a house at around age 20, 21, I might have been 22, 23, 24, somewhere in there. I bought a house. I was in Puerto Rico. I bought a house in Southwest Virginia. I ended up getting stationed up in Maine. While I was in Maine, I got a phone call one day that a person wanted to buy my house from me. I said, it's not for sale. I just bought it. I want to move into it one day. And he said, well, it's sentimental reason. My dad built that house. How about if I rent it from you? And I was like, huh. Okay. And he asked me, he was an older guy than me. He asked me, he said, what's your mortgage payment? And I said it was $225 a month. Because it was. I bought the house for $30,000. I put 20% down, I think. My mortgage, I believe, was for $21,000. Maybe it was 30. whatever that percentage was, I can't do the math right now. I had a mortgage for $21,000 and my payment was like $225 a month. He said, well, how about if I give you $250 a month rent? I said, okay, let me ask my wife, and I said, okay, that's $25 more than my mortgage. I'm happy. So he rented that house for me for the next 2 years and a couple months, I think, until I left active duty with the Navy and wanted to move down there. And I was always happy. I'd get a check in the mail. Once a month, I'd get a check in the mail. Meanwhile, I'm in the Navy. I was in E6, getting a decent paycheck. Life was good. I did not know about real estate. I did not know about running the numbers. I did not know nothing at all about being a landlord, but it was easy. The guy did some repairs. He built a closet in the house because it was an old house, didn't have a closet. He built a closet. He did some other little stuff. Knowing what I know now, I would have held on to that house probably, at least for a while. But I ended up moving into it, decided, I found out why housing was so cheap there because there were no jobs. I know the lighting's bad here. I need a light, I think, right over on this side over here. I have lights up. This ceiling is probably, 15, 18 feet high. And I got 4, I guess, LED lights up in there. And they aren't quite putting enough light over here. We'll see. I got this bed here. Maybe I can put a lamp, some kind of, that might be a memory foam mattress, possibly. It feels pretty good. If you're a friend of mine, maybe you can sleep on this one day. All right. So with that being said, sorry, I digress. The importance of investing today. I know there are people out there who will tell you it's a bad time to buy real estate. It is. It is. I agree. If you're looking to buy your first primary residence, if you're looking to house hack and buy a duplex, it is kind of a bad time. It's not impossible to buy now, but if you're a first-time property buyer, it's a little tough. Prices are still on the expensive side. Interest rates are still on the expensive side. Okay? So if you can't find a good deal, what do? Because Mazske says it's important to start investing today. Yes, it is. So what do? Prices are high, interest rates are high. Well, here's what you do. Get your finances in order. Get your credit score higher. Start stockpiling cash, as I call it, cash reserves. Start putting cash in the bank. Get a high interest bank account. I use Wealthfront right now. I'm getting 5.3%. If you want a referral, I can give you a referral to get that for 90 days. And if you refer someone else, you will get an additional 90 days, and you can keep doing that as far as I know. Or there's other banks out there that are paying, because without that referral, you'll get like 4.7%. There's other banks out there you can find that are paying around 5%. Maybe you get a CD, 6-month CD, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's paying 6%. Okay? But start saving your nickels and dimes, as I call it. Start saving your dollars. Why? Because it appears the U.S. and then the world is going to go more into a recession. I think a recession, the way they calculate GDP now and the way they calculate growth, they exclude food and fuel. That's the two biggest things we use all the time, food and fuel. Okay, they exclude those, they don't count them. All right, so if you count them, have we been in a recession? Food prices sure have gone up. My grocery bill in the United States and here in Panama has really gone up. Okay, fuel prices, gas in the U.S. was a lot cheaper a year and a half, 2 years ago than it is now, I think. Okay, oil prices, they were a couple years ago, it was $45 a barrel. Now it's pushing $90 a barrel. Okay, but they don't count that in inflation. So life is getting more expensive. Daggone it, there's any. Hang on just a second, grasshoppers. You're going to see me do something. I'm going to carry this with me. I do not like this. Hey, you, go. Go. All right, sorry you heard me yelling there. That's a little iguana. He was crawling over to get into my pool. And I had my run-ins with iguanas in Florida. There are iguanas here in Panama. And I do not let iguanas get into my pool. They see that big, beautiful blue body of water, and they want to get in there. No, that's my pool. That's my pool. Sorry about that. I digress. Sorry I had to do that. All right, so and I lost my train of thought there, didn't I? But everything's expensive, interest rates are high, prices are high. But if we go into a recession, at some point, I don't know if housing prices will pull back. All right. We got a lot of growth over the last 2-ish years. Okay. With housing prices, they went up. They're not dropping. We have a housing shortage and everything. They're not dropping. Interest rates are high. Okay. It means our mortgage payment, if you get a house, is higher. What may, I won't say will, what may happen next year, maybe it's 2025, I think interest rates will at some point be cut a bit, okay? When they get cut a bit, there might be a demand for housing. People may start saying, oh, interest rates are now 5.5, they were 6.5, or whatever it is. And the primary home buyers might try to go out and buy. But during this time period, during the next several years, the more dry powder you have in reserve, okay, gunpowder, more dry powder, the more dollars you have in the bank, when in your chosen market, when prices do drop, when other people are losing their job and getting laid off, as long as you're still working, you can swoop in with your dollars and maybe make a deal, maybe make an offer 30, 40, 50% below asking price, and maybe you can get that deal, okay? Because it's going to happen. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be in 2024. I don't know if it'll be 2025, 2026, 2027. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. But it's going to happen, okay? The economy is cyclical. Governments are cyclical. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, globally, nationwide. We have, 2 wars going on, okay? The United States is somehow getting sucked into some of this stuff. The world is a Tinder Box, as we say, okay? We just don't know how it's going to play out. Pandemics, they're going to come back. It's going to happen again. How are we going to respond to it, okay? But in the midst of all this chaos and turmoil, if you keep a level mind, if you stay focused, you persevere, you keep stockpiling your cash, okay? If you start finding out maybe your money's in a bank that's going to fail, figure out a different bank to put it in, figure out somewhere to move it to, okay? Be aware of what's happening around you, okay? But the moment will come when opportunity will present itself. And when it presents itself, you want to be ready to jump in. Now, when you jump in, maybe you're buying your 30th unit and you just bought a 10-unit apartment building. So you went from 20 to 30. Or maybe you're jumping in to buy your first. Or maybe you already have 4 and you're jumping in to get your duplex that you always wanted to get. Or whatever it may be. We're all in different situations. Okay? That's one of my goals with moving to Panama. Once I get stabilized here, because I'm not stabilized yet, and what I mean by getting stabilized, I have a house in South Florida where I was living. You saw it on my channel. You saw my dock, my tiki hut, my boat lift, my swimming pool. That house is being renovated. It's about done. It should hopefully be done this week. Once it's done, the guy who's going to be my Airbnb host is going to hire a photographer and get good pictures taken like a real estate agent would do. Good pictures. Stage it well. And put it on Airbnb and VRBO and maybe another site or so. All right, and then I should start getting some income, okay? Just FYI, if you get an Airbnb, do not have expectation that the very first month is going to be your grand slam month. But you just don't know. But it'll probably start slow. Your Airbnb, let's say I just use Airbnb to generalize with all the sites. You got to get a review in, got to get a second review in. And then it starts building. Now, the person that's helped me out, they are a super host. It's going to fall under their umbrella, like it's under their name. We have an agreement with this. And so, Mazske stays out of the picture, basically. But I get the revenue, okay? Hopefully. What happens, I just don't know, right? Got to go in faith. So, once that starts happening, because I start getting income. Because right now, I think I've mentioned in my channel before, I was paying $5,000 a month to live in South Florida between my mortgage and groceries, just mortgage and groceries. And utilities, I was easily paying $5,000 if not more, okay? Some of my expenses have reduced, but I'm still paying for my house. I'm still paying electricity. I'm still paying water. I'm still paying lawn care. I am now paying a pool guy because I did the pool myself before. I took care of it myself. I'm now paying all that. And I am renting a house here, including having a gardener come twice a week. He's a gardener / pool guy. He takes care of my pool. He takes care of the bushes. I've showed you some snippets around my yard. There's lots of plants. He waters the plants. He waters the grass. He's in the process of trimming the bushes. I got bushes all down both sides. They're big. They're tall. They're probably 8-9 feet tall. And he trims all those. So he comes twice a week, which is pretty nice. He's a good guy. I'm getting to know him. He's a very good guy. So I'm paying for all that here, and I'm paying in South Florida. So I'm paying, I don't know what I'm paying, $6,000 a month just between a mortgage and a rent. And you include utilities, I'm over $6,000 a month easily. Not counting my food here. So once I stabilize, I know I'm rambling here. Once I stabilize, because I just had a big giant tax bill to pay. I just paid a bunch of it yesterday, and put it on credit cards, and I paid the credit cards off. I got the points on the credit cards, and I paid them off for the most part. And it was a big tax bill. I felt it. It hurt. It's dinging my net worth because it took a chunk of cash out. All right. So once I get stabilized, hopefully another couple of weeks, I start getting some small revenue in, and then hopefully it'll pick up. Then I'll be stockpiling my cash the best that I can. And we'll see how it all plays out. And we'll see how my future plays out. Just like we'll see how your future plays out. So if you're still watching this, and you're someone who's in that situation where you want to get started, you've listened to me ramble, and you want to get started, tell you what, let's make a deal. Get started. Shoot me an email. My email's in the description below. And maybe you can appear on my channel sometime as a guest. I need to get back into having guests on my channel. And we'll talk about your situation. There's a young lady who's emailed me. We're emailing back and forth. I'm going to shoot you an email. Maybe to give you, instead of getting a phone call, how about you come on my channel? We'll talk about your situation just a bit. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I like this little casitas. It could be a little man cave, right? I don't have a man cave. But I kind of like it. Right now, I'm going to wrap this up. Right now, the sun rises on that side, and it goes down on that side. My pool is right over there. So right now, the sun is kind of behind me and coming up that way. In the afternoon, the sun is shining in these windows. That's why these shades here, when I leave, I will put these down to keep this room from roasting. All right, so that being said, have a great day. I'll take you out on the beach one day with me. I was out there last night. Had a nice walk. I'll tell you more about it later. Maybe I'll take you along for the ride. Have a great day. Maskies signing out.